Storyverse HQ.
Not every good person in your life is meant to be touched. Some people are not sent for you to consume. They are sent for you to preserve. David lived a quiet life in Lagos, in the heart of Lagos, focused, disciplined, intentional. He believed in building something meaningful, not rushing into everything that looked appealing. One afternoon, in a small cafe in Lagos, he sat working while his friends sat opposite him, observing everything and everyone in the space. Two young women walked in, attractive, confident, noticeable. Sola observed them immediately, already drawn by their presence. But David did not react the way most people would. He acknowledged their presence and returned to his work. Not everyone who sees beauty must chase it. Some people have learned the strength of restraint. Sola tried to bring the girls to David's attention, but he ignored the distractions and focused on his work. Then a few minutes later, she walked in. Amarachi. Calm, simple, unforced. And this time, David looked, not with hunger, but with awareness. Sola noticed immediately and quietly stepped away. Amarachi took a seat beside David. She tried connecting to the cafe's Wi-Fi so she could continue her work. David observed her quietly, then spoke. He noticed her frustration and offered help. The password worked and she smiled in appreciation. No agenda, no performance, just help. And from that small moment, something began. They spoke, not dramatically, not perfectly, but naturally, like two people simply getting to know each other. They exchanged contacts that day and gradually began meeting again at the cafe. David was a junior mobile app developer. Amarachi was an online writer. Days passed, then weeks. They met again and again. They walked, they talked, they shared small moments, and in those moments, comfort began to grow. Amarachi slowly began to open up. She expressed something real, something many people feel but rarely say. Why is it that connections are not allowed to stay simple? Why do people always turn everything into something more? Amarachi asked. David listened, not to respond quickly, but to understand. Maybe people don't know how to stop themselves. She looked at him, studying him. Amarachi said, "You are different. I feel comfortable around you." That moment mattered because now trust was forming, and for a while, things were simple. Until the night came. They stepped out together to purchase something at a nearby mall. A simple walk. But then the weather changed. Dark clouds gathered, and just before they entered the mall, the rain began. Light at first, then suddenly heavy. They ran together through the storm, closer than before, and somehow that moment felt different. They arrived at David's home, soaked by the rain, breathing heavier, laughing softly, trying to regain composure. Inside, everything changed. The warmth, the quiet, the stillness. David immediately became attentive. He noticed her discomfort, her cold, her silence. He acted with respect, without pressure. She changed privately, comfortably. He prepared something warm, tea, the kind that slows everything down. They sat facing each other. At first, the conversation was normal, light, casual, human. But then the pace slowed and silence came. Not empty silence, but full silence, the kind that carries emotion. Their eyes met and stayed longer than before. Their words became fewer. Their presence became heavier, and something began to shift. This is where many people lose themselves, not in chaos, but in quiet moments of vulnerability. The space between them grew smaller. The awareness grew deeper. The pull became stronger. And for a moment, everything stood still. This is the moment of decision, because not everything that feels right is meant to be followed.
David felt it, the tension, the attraction, the movement, but he also felt something else: understanding, control, awareness. And in that moment, he made a choice to slow down, to hold back, to preserve what was there. Because not every moment is meant to be consumed. Some moments are meant to be respected. The energy shifted, the tension softened, the moment passed, and what remained was something deeper than impulse. Some things are not meant to be touched. They are meant to be kept. And sometimes the greatest proof of love is the discipline to let something remain pure. If this story spoke to you, like, share and subscribe to Storyverse HQ, because here we tell stories that matter.